3, 2, 1.
Hey! Hey, everyone, and welcome to the JKA Star Wars podcast, brought to you by JKAgear.com. Go check it out for all your sweet Star Wars swag. Today on the podcast, we have Matt Galupo,
Brandon Winfrey,
Trevor Adams,
And Kevin Burke.
All right, so exciting week in Star Wars cartoons. Not to date the podcast, but they just released Star Wars Rebels.
Woo!
Season 2 came out. So I don't want to talk about that. Instead,
again.
right? Instead, I want to talk about an older Star Wars cartoon, The Clone Wars. Right? So I think now that everybody's talking about Rebels, we're going to differentiate ourselves by talking about the Clone Wars.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
We're going to cover some
setting
old
ourselves
ground.
apart. We're counter-programming this podcast right now.
I like it. We're like
That sounds like math.
the VMAs to the bigger VMAs. I lost it.
That's right.
What?
That's right. Brandon, just you're throwing the ball and you dropped it.
He just watched.
I've never had any balls.
All right.
Oh.
So, Clone Wars. Something that's always interested me about the Clone Wars is, well, one, they're good. Like, they are fantastic. I don't know if you know this about them, but they are.
They are phenomenal, and we're talking about the computer animated Clone Wars, not to be confused with the short clip Clone Wars that was on Cartoon Network for
Toonami.
a while.
Yeah,
Toonami, yeah.
No,
I never saw those.
Or to be confused with the movie Attack of the Clones
Right.
that featured the Clone Wars.
Attack of the
It
Clones.
was the start of the Clone
yeah,
Or
yeah,
the
so-
historical event.
Or the
Clone
actual Clone Wars, yeah.
Which
Right.
were horrible
Yeah,
and very tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the prequels, so the prequels and the Clone Wars cover the same subject matter, but how to put this? One of them is good. I shouldn't say that. I'm so sorry. I take it back.
Let him finish. Which
No,
one?
no,
what,
no.
What do you?
One of them is more well received than the other. The animated series very well received, very well done. And I was wondering why. Why do we like this animated series so much and not so much the movies? What's the difference for us?
Well, Matt, we've talked about some of this stuff, and I'm going to steal something that you said to me as if it were my own idea.
I like
I'm
it
gonna
already.
Give you no credit.
Great.
Never mind. You just gave him credit.
No, I'm not going
God
to. I've
damn it, Brandon.
I've specifically stated I'm giving him no credit for this. This is my idea.
Yeah.
Can I have some credit?
So in the movies, all of the stories are very black and white. There is good and there is evil. And in the Clone Wars, we explore war, and war is a very gray area.
What is it good for?
Brandon here to undercut every point made on the podcast.
I'm enhancing every point made.
Yeah. Sure. So talk to more about the gray area.
What is the value of clone life?
Yeah.
Like it's a commodity used as war fodder. They are cannon fodder.
Yeah, but to be fair, like 1, 2, and 3 did try to like straddle that gray area. Like they did try to show the more nuanced side of things. I feel like 4, 5, and 6 are very black and white, and maybe the problem is 1, 2, and 3 like straddled the line. Like they didn't go morally ambiguous. They kind of are halfway in between black and white and morally ambiguous.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that because they don't take a side, because they don't choose to be one or
guess
the other?
instead of being gray, they're like dark gray, right? Not like black and white. If we're using the color metaphor
I
here,
feel like
which I
they-
think is playing really well on the audio podcast.
It is a visual podcast.
I think they
Yeah.
took a gray situation and tried to treat it as though it was black and white.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
where it's just
Kevin,
like,
that's why we have you on the podcast.
you know, I'm like a sniper. You know, I just pop in a little bit here and there, and I'm gonna stop this metaphor.
I don't think you know
He
what
doesn't know how
snipers do.
snipers do.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How snipers
I've
do
never met
what
do you guys? What does
snipers
what do they do?
Yeah,
do they
yeah.
just say things at a time?
They
do,
just pop into rooms, say stuff, and leave.
Then
And
I'm a
someone's
sniper.
head explodes.
Then I was. Who's it gonna be?
But yeah, so mishandling.
Yeah, I
this
think, and
gray
also
subject matter.
what we talked about here is Clone Wars gives you the ability to, just based on this medium of television, you have so much more time to investigate both sides of that gray area, where you can see the effects of it over time on different people. Again, you can watch an episode that just from the Clone Wars perspective, from the clones' perspective. Where a movie, if you're not following Anakin Skywalker, what are you doing? Or Obi-Wan? It's just like there's not. Those are your good guys. They're your good guys. They're not going to be doing anything but good things.
Yeah, and I will say on a very basic level, Ahsoka Tano is better than any new character introduced in the prequel movies. Like
Sure.
just as a new character that we want to follow and get along with. I would say she's the main character. Like she fights with Annie a bit, but like and the clone, I guess. Those would be the three in my opinion. But like her as an introductory character to like this is the person you kind of root for and follow.
Yeah.
She's awesome. More so than any character we're introduced to in the
prequels.
The prequel world.
Yeah, and I think that's what Star Wars is. Like Star Wars is its characters. Like that's the most important thing. So the characters in Clone Wars are phenomenal. Where we look at the characters in the Clone Wars, and I wouldn't even say phenomenal or not phenomenal in the Clone Wars. I'm just gonna say unique. Right now, a lot of the characters in the prequels are like diplomats, which doesn't make for great movies.
They're kind of one dimensional because they don't take action in very
exactly.
specific directions.
We see diplomats. We see a lot of talking characters. It's very dialogue heavy characters. That's where they derive their power from. Where in the Clone Wars we saw soldiers more so, and we saw the Jedi that we wanted to see, and we saw the Sith that we wanted to see. We saw characters of action. Where the prequels are kind of characters of dialogue and characters of talk.
Yeah,
if that.
They also aren't
makes sense.
Like the emotions behind the Clone Wars characters are so much stronger. I just feel like you get all their actions where you see Anakin struggle on a regular basis over choosing to save his men or to accomplish the mission as given to him, and him trying to find that middle ground where he can do what he knows is right in his heart versus what he's being told to do that is right by, for instance, like military standards.
Yeah, certainly. And then there's also the struggle of do the ends justify the means? Whereas a lot of the diplomats and politicians are saying like, no, this isn't worth doing. But Anakin is like, we need to win this war. And that's why he becomes friend with the Admiral in Clone Wars, which then leads into their friends. And
yeah. And like super heavy stuff for a kid's show, which I think...
A lot of people die.
Yeah, right?
A lot.
Brutally.
And sometimes
it's crazy.
They die meaningless deaths.
Yeah.
And they address that.
Like really early on, remember there's an episode where there's kind of a dick Padawan. I forget his name, but it's the master and the little Padawan, and essentially a foil to Ahsoka.
Oh,
and
is he the Mon Calamari Padawan?
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Where they infiltrate
Grievous's lair?
Yeah. And he basically just disregards his master's rules, and he dies at
He
the
does
end.
die.
And it's basically like, this is a harsh universe. Padawans are Printai
they don't
die.
They don't make it.
Children die in this universe.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
we
great
don't
stuff
see
like that.
children die in the movies.
Well, you don't.
Sorry, we
see
bring
it.
that up too much on this podcast.
It's a pretty terrible thing for your main character to do.
Just an irredeemable thing.
It's usually
what
me.
could he do to make him irredeemable? Oh, he's just gonna kill all the kids.
Yeah, but I will say I don't think this is the I haven't read all the EU stuff, but this seems to be, especially for mass media, the darkest that Star Wars gets.
Yeah,
which is weird because it's also so for kids as well.
Yeah, it's for kids.
But it definitely, again, I think the gray really works. I think a lot of that comes with the format.
Yeah.
Just because they do have this, this expanded time to look at everything. But there's just some great stuff.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it is good, but. So we have a generation of kids, and I think I've mentioned this before, but since we're like so concentrated, I want to bring it up again, and I want us to talk about this, that we have a generation of kids that have been raised on the Clone Wars, which is this like morally ambiguous Star Wars universe. And it's like kids and tweens and teens are like the bulk of Star Wars fans. Like that's I think that's fair to say that's the demographic that Star Wars is aimed at. So what are the new movies going to be? Are they going to harken back to this old black and white, or are we going to see them kind of use this more popular, or not more popular medium, but at least the Star Wars the kids are used to?
I think.
Was that a long enough question for you guys?
Well, yeah. Can you repeat the first sentence of it so that I can just? I've got the last three ready to go, but
I guess kids are used to a morally ambiguous Star Wars. Like, are we going to see that, or are we going to go back to the Star Wars of our fathers for 7, 8, 9?
I think all of them have been a little bit morally ambiguous. Not necessarily so, but like you have Darth Vader who still redeems himself at the end, kind of. But I mean, it's still
he
not like
redeems himself.
But I still think it'll be. I still think for the mainline movies,
he doesn't.
You'll still have bad people, but I think I think Hux. Captain Phasma is gonna be good bad. Like I think she's gonna eventually be good.
Sure.
I think you'll have some of that flip flop side, but I think for the mainline movies, there will be a good and there will be a bad. I don't think they'll explore. I think the Clone Wars was unique because they could explore like this is the militarized Jedi.
Yeah,
this
right.
is wrong.
Police militarization is like
Right.
a very, or also like the intricacies of inside trading within a banking clan.
Yeah.
was like
We
with
need
just-
5
crazy.
episodes. Of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Kids need to know.
Well, that's the thing. Is I don't know. I don't know if kids. Kids are smart, but I don't know if they necessarily are dissecting the fact that this is morally ambiguous. Like, I still think when they watch it, they're like, Yoda's good. I don't think they're thinking, it's a little weird that Yoda, put this military behind this force of something that's supposed to be pure
peacekeeping.
Pure
Oh,
peace.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now I think they're going to be like, oh, Yoda's doing cool lightsaber tricks. And obviously, it's more depth to
yeah,
that.
but pop culture sinks in at a
Yeah,
deeper
yeah.
level.
I would say that's absolutely true. Of like a show that stuck with me that was really interesting was Gundam Wing. I know I'm going off Star Wars here.
You absolutely are going off. Star
I know,
Wars.
I know, no,
You're
but
losing
I
at
said
7.
I
it's
will
gonna come
give
back.
you
It's gonna come
30
back.
seconds.
It's
Bring
gonna
it
come
back
back.
fast.
So they dealt with also morally complex issues about pacifism and morally correct war, essentially.
Okay.
And just because like the main characters in that are all bad people who are trying to start a war of independence, and they're just trying to start it like on like the opponent's front. And I think that really, as an 11-year-old, was like, oh my gosh, the world is more complex than I understand. And Clone Wars is that same kind of awakening, I think, in kids who are like, when they're to that age of like 10 or 11 or 12, where like, oh, the world's more complex than I really realize. And I think that a show introducing it with characters that you relate to as good people, maybe not doing great things all the time, can really help kind of like hold your hand through that transition into a more adult perspective on things.
Sure, it's almost helps you come of age. Like it's almost like
Exactly.
a coming of age tale. If you
Yeah,
will.
which I think is sort of what Anakin is struggling with the whole time, is how is his perspective of like, I am a good guy and I do the right thing every single time, challenged by this world that doesn't give him that choice.
Yeah.
I guess this whole morally ambiguous thing would work better for me if the villains were given their perspective as well. Because Dooku is a really interesting character.
Sure.
And you only see him as pure evil.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Palpatine as well. So what is evil in Clone Wars is really driven home that they're evil. And that I kind of understand, but we
okay.
never get their side really. We do with what's her name?
Asajj Ventress.
Ventress. We do with Ventress
Nice.
a little bit, but even then, she's kind of just like, oh, the evil people think I'm an asshole. Oh, I'll just be evil to everyone now and like utilize these people to be mean to the other evil people. Like,
I'm gonna go get my witch sisters, and we're gonna brew up some
Right.
space magic, and we're gonna
Yeah.
kill all these guys with our zombie army.
yeah, which was
Yeah.
great. But
Great
Awesome.
episode.
Right.
So I don't know. That's one thing I missed from the Clone Wars is seeing the perspective of Dooku, which I thought they could have explored a lot.
Yeah. If they're oh, God.
I tried to breathe my beer.
I
He
know
tries this
CPR.
every once in a
Yeah,
while,
right.
guys. He'll get over it.
Like one day he will do it,
Still
and we
doesn't
will
work.
all be amazed.
Still doesn't work.
Trevor will be the first beer fish.
That'd be
I said
JKA
it.
podcast, home of the beer fish.
I'd
There's
catch
always
that.
a beer fish.
We're professional.
Brandon once said to me, like, Trevor, you drink like a fish who is an alcoholic. And I will always treasure that.
You'll treasure that. Yeah.
I'll always
You're
treasure
welcome. You're welcome.
Great.
Speaking of alcoholics, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Nice.
right? He had to be an alcoholic at the end.
He did love his blue milk.
Well, what was he doing between,
What?
Oh yeah.
what was
yeah.
he doing between 3 and 4?
Absolutely.
Drinking.
Just pounding the Jawa juice. That's it.
that. Jawa juice.
Yeah. So speaking.
Crazy Ben's at it again.
Crazy old Ben.
Oh man. So Ben Kenobi bridges the Clone Wars TV show to 4, 5, and 6. Are there any other characters that we'd like to see from the Clone Wars appear in a one-off or see in 7, 8, and 9? I mean, I know it's much later, so like a lot of them have probably died of old age, but
Yeah.
like
Or
are
in-
just
yeah.
or in
died in the
combat,
course of the
or-
movies in
sure,
lame
sure,
scenes.
or Order 66 or whatever. Is there someone we want to see?
I want to see the Wookiee Padawan who trained in
What is his
season
name?
6.
Man, I was like thinking someone would bring up a named character. No.
He's named, though.
The Wookiee Padawan.
he
One,
has a name.
fantastic. And he gets the wooden lightsaber.
has a wooden
Oh,
lightsaber.
it's
That's
pretty
super
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he gets a wooden lightsaber.
He makes
pretty
it. It's really
awesome.
cute.
All right.
He has a name, by the way. I don't remember his name.
All right. Well,
I think it's Wookiee Man.
I want to know how he turned out because
Yeah,
he
very
was
good.
a great little guy.
He got killed by Anakin.
he absolutely got killed by Anakin.
I'm saying that.
Great. Ruin
All right.
that for us.
So, any like characters where we might remember their names from?
I mean,
Clone Wars?
the obvious one I
R2-D2.
think is Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Tano.
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's
I
say
think
the obvious. Let's do
that's the obvious one.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
I know that she appears in some other series. I don't want to spoil what comes
There's
up.
only
but-
one out there.
Yeah. There's some other cartoon
no, but
series
the
about
context
Star
and
Wars she
everything.
appears
The
in.
comic.
Like,
I'm straddling a line here.
yeah, we spoiled it.
What a
so,
gross
yeah.
visual.
Right.
Ugh.
But Ahsoka Tano brings up an actual interesting point for me, which is like Luke Skywalker, in theory, is going to restart the Jedi Order. He's never been to the Jedi Academy. Like his version,
He's not a
of,
very
like,
good
right,
Jedi.
not a very good Jedi. His version of Jedi training is like, all right, I will now ride on your back, and we will swing through vines, and then you will be a Jedi. It's like
Stand on your head and lift these rocks
Right, yeah,
right now.
They're like, I feel like this should be more formal. So I hope like Ahsoka Tano comes through and is like, okay, Luke, I know, like you're like the chosen one and everything, but
We're running out of
we're-
X-wings to crash into
to
lakes.
Dagobah. Like we can't. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
we're polluting Dagobah. Luke.
Ahsoka. If she crash landed on Dagobah, would just immediately lift it up and be.
Oh
good.
yeah,
she'd
it'd
be good to
done.
go.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine.
And she's like, "Oh, Luke, you're so bad with a lightsaber. like you can swing it faster
What is
than
this
that."
about? What-
Yeah.
No, that's yeah. Luke, like very little, no formal training.
Yeah.
He got trained by a little alien in a swamp planet.
Yoda.
Absolutely crazy by
Who
this
just a
point.
lunatic.
Do not call him by name.
Just by
we
just
will patronize
by
him.
himself. He did not recognize R2D2 and beat him with a stick,
That's true.
even
Kane.
though it had only
Yeah.
been what 30 years. And
Just
he'd
a
been alive
mere
for
30
almost
years
900.
since he's seen
Yeah,
the
yeah.
droid.
So that's like a day to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just
Okay.
like forgot, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Luke and Anakin actually do something not together, but independent of each other that boggles my mind.
Okay.
Anakin, who never learned from like those Force magician ghost spirit things how
The
to
witches of Dathomir, the Night Sisters. Is that what
no,
you're talking about?
not the Night Sisters, the like glowy mask
the
people.
things that like bring balance to the
Yeah.
Force.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
He
We
never
need to
learned
learn
from
their
them
names.
how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
maintain his form after death, even
Yeah.
though Yoda did, Qui-Gon Jinn did, Obi-Wan was trained too.
By
and
Yoda,
then,
yeah.
And then like Anakin just figured it out by himself because he's so powerful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, Luke Skywalker construct his own lightsaber after his was lost on Cloud City when it like his hand got cut off. It flew down, and then he just built his own. Even though you have to be trained to do that as a Padawan, and you get to use the Force to like put all this stuff together. How did he figure it out? Did he find a book or some shit, or did he just sit there and go like, I think this piece goes like this, and just trial and error figured it
Yeah.
out without burning his hands off?
That's true. That's a good point. Like, I would believe Anakin Skywalker building one because he's good with machines. Like, Luke has to
Also-
go to Tashi Station to pick up power converters. He cannot build power converters. How is he supposed to build a lightsaber?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Way off topic, but great point.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't get how topics work.
Yeah.
So.
I have one more off-topic thing.
Okay.
Does Yoda
Right.
have a last name?
What?
Yoda. It's actually
Ooh.
Yoda.
Yoda.
Oh, it's not Yoda Calrissian.
like
or
Mario
something?
Mario. Yoda.
Yeah. No, I don't think.
Yoda Calrissian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're actually the same species. Just when Lando Calrissian gets to be 900,
He's just gonna be tiny and
that's
green.
how he's gonna look. Yeah, absolutely.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Ah.
The deal is life.
I think I actually want to see some of the clones that we see. I want to see Cody. I
Fives.
think.
Do clones have a shortened
which one's
lifespan?
Cody?
Would he still be alive at that
Cody
point?
is he'd be an old clone. He'd be like 99 maybe.
Don't talk
They don't have
about
it-
99,
Oh, sorry.
bro.
Was Cody?
I thought Cody died.
I like
Cody die?
fives.
The
Cody
Rex?
and Rex? Those are the two main
Rex was the one
So
I want to
Rex,
see. I
Rex
wanna
made
see
it out.
Rex.
Rex. I want to see Rex then.
What
Yeah,
about
Cody?
yeah.
I think died.
Yeah, I think you're
What
right.
about the old janitor?
He's dead.
That's 99.
99
Oh,
is dead.
99
died.
What
in the
about?
show.
I want to see fives.
I love fives.
I liked Heavy a lot, but he immediately died.
He died really bad. But yeah, I want to see like some of these old clones. I wonder if they've advanced into the upper echelon. Yeah, they're just where
if
they
they're just
are.
like
Can we
advanced
see one-
members of the?
I want to see one confront like Boba Fett and just smack him around. Just like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? I'm like your great uncle,
Yeah.
and you're just like some bounty hunter. Do you know I was in the army? Was in the army forever.
You got no honor.
Yeah.
No honor, boy.
There's got to
No
be
accent.
Yeah.
there's got to be like a serial killer clone, right?
Statistically, sure.
Just
Yeah.
Great.
the pause after that. Just
I'm just saying.
all right.
Easy to get away with.
Oh, you mean a serial killer that kills clones?
No, that is a clone who kills
Oh,
other
okay.
clones, I
Because
guess,
how
maybe.
can you tell them apart? That's
Yeah.
racist, Brandon.
Well, no, that could be a David Fincher
Super
movie.
racist.
That is, it's not really race. It's just mean against that one guy who has been genetically
Yeah.
copied.
Sure. Django
So
a bunch.
speaking of genetic copies, and
Yeah.
so they chose a smuggler or a bounty hunter,
hunter.
excuse me, bounty hunter, probably did both, but a bounty hunter to copy over, millions of times. Don't you think there's a better choice than a smuggler or a bounty hunter, or better choice than a human? Like, let's talk better
There's so
choice
many
of clones.
aliens.
Yeah, so if you had to create a 1 million strong clone army, what species would you choose?
Oh, I was actually just thinking logistics. Maybe we're like humans are very simple to clone. We're not particularly advanced. It's not a super complex organism.
We're the worst
when
in the
compared
universe.
to some of the other ones. That's
Oh, so you're just being like,
I'm
yeah,
just being
yeah.
practical. It's like if this is the easiest, and it's like,
Sure, sure.
he's a near perfect physical specimen.
Yeah. Oh, humans, they only have 23 chromosomes, he says, hopefully. It's like, this species, like Wookiees have 1,000 chromosomes. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
God, we don't have time
That's
for
what I
this
was about
Wookiee
to say.
shit. Wookiees would be your one.
I think Wookiees are totally underutilized in war
Sure.
in Star Wars canon.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be awesome.
Yeah.
You always let them win. They're strong. I think maybe they don't follow orders very well like humans do.
Right,
You
they're very
think they're-
independent and proud creatures.
and they're
Oh,
like,
Wait,
okay.
we're saying humans follow orders well?
Well,
Apparently,
I mean,
that's
I think maybe
compared to
against-
Wookiees. I feel like
Okay.
that's the thing.
All right.
Because you'd have to trick the Wookiee into giving you a life debt. Because I feel like that's the only time. So you trick the Wookiee into giving you a life debt, and then they'll follow orders.
Right, but how,
then
how
every
would the
single
life debt go?
clone?
It's like you pay a bounty hunter. It's like, okay, go attack that Wookiee, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm
And
gonna save
the
him.
Wookiee. Yeah, yeah.
You end up just-
What bounty hunter's going to take that job?
What, to
I can
attack a
ima-
Wookiee?
He just kills every single one of them. Yeah, I want to know how that happened, by the way. I don't
What?
think. Why does Han Solo. This is off topic. Why does Han Solo pay a life debt to the.
Oh,
Chewie.
how that happened? Maybe we'll see it in the Han
Yeah,
Solo
the Han Solo
one-off.
movie.
That's the quick answer. Back to Wookiees.
Yep.
So my theory on why no Wookiees specifically, aren't they really long-lived? Like, we see
Yeah.
Chewbacca in the
Yeah.
prequels, and then he's
Yeah.
still, like, young and fighting age.
Mhm.
So my thinking is they would take too long to mature. Like, the clones took about 10 years to get fighting ready, I think, from when they were commissioned to
Yeah.
when they were
Commissioned.
ready,
He means
ready to fight.
born or
Yeah.
Kinda like
something.
it's-
Grown.
it's a-
Well, like, no,
grown.
from when they were like, we need a clone army. Okay, come back in 10 years. We'll have a clone army.
Wow.
And then, so it took 10 years for that to happen. My guess is, like, Wookiees would take way longer to get of fighting
Just
age.
fertilize them.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
makes
know.
sense.
Just fertilize them.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the realm of getting clones, you can just speed that up a little
Oh,
bit.
I see what you mean by fertilize. Not impregnate them, but
No,
'cause
yes,
I
you
was,
just keep
I was-
impregnating them.
You
just-
thought of the
I don't
actual
know.
term
You used
fertilize,
a
man.
hand
Yeah.
gesture. Why did you use a hand gesture?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
he
know
gestured.
how.
I didn't get to see the
away.
hand
I don't know how
gesture.
artificial
Well,
insemination
You'll
works.
have to watch the podcast, Kevin.
Ah.
to get the hand.
Yeah, I just
I'm stuck
Kevin.
back
This whole
here.
time I'm just talking to the top of your head. It's all I can see of you, and now it's wobbling.
Now
and
we've
I
broken the illusion that Kevin's in the same room as us.
Yeah.
We have many people.
I'm
that
in
don't
France.
think that. Yeah.
That's the best part of them.
My legs?
That's all I get.
Yeah, Clone Wars is great. I don't. So like,
Wait, no.
Thanks for bringing us back to topic with that wonderful segue.
Okay,
And then
so,
are we talking about other species, right? And why
Yeah.
we should Mon Calamari?
Sure.
They'd be great for water planets.
They're
and, like,
delicious.
All right. For
Yeah,
other
so why not
planets.
an amphibious species?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Like,
they are
there's a-
amphibious.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to start something, man.
no, I was just
what's going on here, guys?
that's my job as host, just to glom onto your guys' ideas.
Ugh, gross word.
Yeah.
and then when they die, you just fry them and throw them to TGI Fridays.
Fried calamari joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Brandon Winfrey.
TGI Friday is still alive and well in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Low hanging octopus.
They have Fridays. they have.
But why not?
Fridays there.
Why did you have to just pick one species for the army? Why couldn't it have been specialized
Oh,
forces?
there you go.
Where it's like,
Specialized species.
yeah, where it's just like,
Yeah, that's just the Kaminoans being lazy. Really.
yeah, it's just like you don't need this one guy. I mean, we can.
Yeah. Also, like, sure. Not
Caminoites? Caminoites?
Caminoans,
Camini, I think.
Caminoans?
Caminoans, Camin,
Caminoans.
Caminans.
Cam,
God damn it.
Caminos.
Caminos. There we go. Just pluralize the planet.
Yeah.
No. So as the thing that refuses to die, I guess, metachlorians are in the blood, therefore are genetic. Why not clone a Jedi and just have an army of Force users?
I think.
Oh, that's
well,
so
you do know
already,
why.
I already have answered the
do know
question.
why.
I thought about it for 2 seconds. But Brandon,
won't
do you want to
spoil it.
tell us?
Well,
do
it's
you want
the
to tell us
idea
answer?
that technically the Clone Army was also hiddenly made. Spoiler alert for Clone Wars season 6. They were technically also
in the
made
movies.
as
or
a,
the movies.
Yeah, it's in the
episode
movies.
For
three.
Star Wars.
But
Yeah.
who's watched those? So they were technically made to, be a force that could take out the Jedi.
It would
and-
kill the Jedi.
Yeah, and
so
Operation
making more
77.
Jedi, not a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, why do they need to be Jedi?
What was it? Order 66?
Asajj Ventress isn't a Jedi.
Sure. So, all right, then to the, or it was Order 66, but he was just adding, I don't know, 11 more orders.
Because 11's cooler than
Uh,
I don't know where I was going.
So off that point, if they're supposed to kill Jedi, why not make them a Force immune race? Like we know
Such
the
Toydarians.
Twi'darians, the
are-
Twi'darians, right?
Wait, how are they
why not
Force
clone
immune?
Twi'darians?
Because they're such a. I
What?
was about
Excuse
to be
me?
super racist. Such a gross little creature thing.
Is it because they're
gross
heavy?
looking?
Is it because they're heavy? They
Yeah.
can fly, so they're not that heavy.
Not too heavy.
Like I don't understand how you're Force immune. Like, do you
The,
just
the Force doesn't work on you.
okay?
The, like the
what do you
mind
mean?
tricks,
Can't
the
they
mind
be-
tricks.
They
So-
can be moved by the Force, like not emotionally, but physically.
Yeah, like they can be pushed. Like
Yeah,
now.
they
like,
need
okay,
the mind.
okay.
It's that all living things are connected by the
Okay.
Force. So it's just that they are less
But
connected.
but not Toydarian.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
are these the things that Jar Jar's
Wada.
girlfriend?
What? No.
Jar Jar's girlfriend?
No,
What?
those are super connected to the Force. I don't know what that.
Well, yeah,
what
but they're also immune
what
to
those
their
are.
Force, whatever.
Well, but Jedi can be immune to that thing if you just have a strong enough mind.
Yeah, it's
you
a
can
strong
be immune.
will.
But like the Twi'darians
you'd
are
be
just
screwed, Trevor.
like Force just doesn't work on them. Twi'darians and I feel like
The
this,
Hutts.
The Hutts. Yeah, just clone the Hutts. That one
Just-
wouldn't be.
they're all like gross, weird creatures that are
Yeah.
immune to the Force. The Force sees them and goes, no thanks.
No,
Gonna
they,
go
Nah, I don't want to be a
It's just-
part. I don't want to be in you.
I don't want an
at
army of
all.
eyesores.
So, like,
No one
the
wants
Force
that.
is just super shallow, and it's like
Yeah,
anything
just,
ugly does not want to be a part of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
that-
are all these Twi'leks?
that father,
like
son,
they
and
have these
daughter.
force powers. They're so strong. What's up with that?
yeah, yeah.
that father, son, and daughter are just looking as like, okay, and we'll take this species and this
And
species,
yeah.
and oh my,
Oh,
no. And she's
no.
like, ew. And the brother's like, why am I here? I don't want to. Just want to go over the forest. Yeah, that's exactly why.
That's a hut.
Thanks,
Great job.
Brandon. Really?
All right. On that note, we're getting about at time.
Re-
Does
already?
anybody have-
Seriously?
Yeah, I
Did
know,
we
seriously.
talk about
I feel like we've said
anything?
nothing.
Yo, we did not.
We've said nothing important.
Yeah, I'll probably just scrap this podcast. This will never see the light of day.
Stop tapping
I
my
will-
shoulder.
I
I'm gonna leak
it
it,
was-
guys. I'm on your side.
Oh no!
You deserve to see
all
this.
right. I always throw it to Brandon. He messes up. So, Trevor, any last points? Any last things you want to leave people with? You look so worried.
I wanted
that
another
threw it to
prompt.
you.
I wanted to. I want to talk about more stuff.
Give him a quick question.
But like, you put me on the spot, and I have nothing.
wow!
I have nothing for
and
you.
we think I'm the weak link of the podcast.
All right. Well, on that note, that's all the time we have. This has been the JKA Star Wars podcast brought to you by JKAgear.com. Go check it out for all your sweet Star Wars swag. Today on the podcast, we had Matt Gallupo, and you can follow me on Twitter at @MattGallupo.
I am Brandon Winfrey, and you can follow me at symbol B Winfrey.
Don't need to say
B
that.
I no BWIN.
Ooh, that's a new low. Did you just
B.I.?
misspell your name? Don't worry, we'll put it up. We're just going to have to put the graphic up.
BWINFREY.
I'm Trevor Adams, and you can find me at Howlett HOWIETT.
Not even his name, and he knew how to spell it.
And I'm Kevin Burke. You can follow me at Kevin with a KEVIN.
All right, that's it. We're out.
Hey!
Bye.
Do we say anything? Hey!
Yeah!
Letters. I will have already cut by this time.
Hopefully.
Nice. Nope.
Yeah!
I snorted. I just snorted.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah!
Maybe we'll just do a slow fade out then.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. watching that episode of the JKA podcast brought to you by jkagear.com. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome. All right. So if you liked that episode, please subscribe. It helps us create more and helps you know when we create those more things. And this is something I have not mentioned on any of the podcasts, and I'm super upset by it. Kevin is the producer of the podcast and does a great job. So, thanks, Kevin. Great job doing that.
What?
And Kelly, who we never see, is our fantastic director and also does a great job. Yeah, Kevin's the producer. We just don't put him behind computers because we hate him. He's actually doing work and a great job.
I'm chained here.
Yeah. No, we do hate Kevin. All right. On today's podcast, we had Matt Galupo. You can follow me on Twitter at @MattGalupo.
Brandon Winfrey. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want, @BWinfrey. I'm not going to try to spell it this time.
Trevor Adams. You can follow me at Howlett, HOWIETT, and on Instagram at Trevor.Adams.
All right.
It's me. It's going to be you and my sister.
All right. And I'm Kevin Burke. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kevin with a KEVIN.
Sweet. All right, guys, come check out the channel. We do weekly videos, sometimes more. Check it out. It's pretty great. You could also check us out on iTunes if you don't like looking at our faces. Don't
Review us on iTunes.
blame you. And that's it.
Thanks very much, guys.
Bye.
We're out.